Hello everybody, welcome to some more Toonkind at 12 frames per second. My name is Whis, I'm one of your players today and I am playing Mr. Chifley Ford. And with me, I have a wonderful and yet sleepy buddy.
Hi, hello, my name is you, Point. I am going to be playing a bastard who's not in a wheelchair today. I'm going to be playing Love is Blind. I'm I am half awake. I'm alive. I exist and I'm here. Um, but 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 I brain is going to be an interesting one today, fellas. If I don't make much sense today, um. Sorry, not sorry. Let's just say we're method acting and roll with it.
Oh dear, oh dear. So guys, this
Yeah.
is taking place immediately after Tangled in Turmoil, which we did 2 or 3 days ago. Um, these guys are not catching a break. Um,
No.
if you have not listened to that FPS, uh, you will have missed all of the content warnings that are going to be in this. Last time we were talking about what's in Chip's backstory, and today we've got stuff coming out of Laos. Hopefully, if I can crack the guy, there'll
We,
be
yeah,
stuff in the description. So make sure you read that before you get too carried away. Be safe. Care the you.
yeah, yes, please. Um, depending on depending on if you get the walnut to crack and how badly you crack the nut, um, yeah, you're gonna want to pay attention to those warnings.
Tee hee. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So after
Yes,
the events of Tangled in Turmoil, Chifley came to stay at Lau's side of the. Well, I mean, they have technically got two apartments, haven't they? But in Lau's apartment, in Lau's
yeah,
bedroom, because Chifley's bedroom was a little bit uninhabitable.
yeah. You can hear the jingle jangles and the ho ho hos all the way from in here.
Yes, we had some errant Santa Cross that moved in after he iced the place. Though that's more Sol's fault than anything else, I think.
Hey, Soul is completely blameless in everything they do. They are innocent, pure creature. They would never do anything bad ever in their life. And the few times that things bad happened around them, no, it didn't.
Oh dear. Well,
Yeah.
suffice to say, Chif needs a new bed. Uh, but Lau is very, very kindly having Chifley over for the remainder of the night. Um, and Chifley doesn't mind sleeping in Lau's room. Lau has a giant bird nest, and Chif thinks that's awesome.
Well, you say giant bird nest. It is mostly a vague, shallow bowl on the floor. There are lots of blankets, and Chifley will find that yes, there are also actual twigs and plant matter in here. Um, it smells quite earthy. Um, very well. Birds' nests don't have a smell, but this kind of does. It's not a bad smell. It's just like earthy.
Mm,
Yeah.
no, Chif likes it. He can get
Oh,
very
that's good.
comfy in it.
Good. Get cozy.
Uh
Um, at this point, I'm gonna roll stuff. No, we're not doing that.
huh.
That's slightly better. Okay. Does Chickley want to roll a perception?
I can definitely do that. 17.
Hmm. Cool. Before I get into it, is Chickley asleep?
Um, he probably depends on how long it was that they've settled down. So he might have taken a little while. So he might be like in that kind of half asleep sort of state.
Oh, Okay. You think he's dreaming at all, or he's just like half conscious, mostly focusing on like environment stuff? Would
Oh yeah, no, he's not in REM. No, absolutely not.
ah.
But no, he's sort of he's comfy. He's very relaxed. He knows he's in a safe spot. No problems whatsoever. Just sort of listening to the environs. And like Chiff also has the soundtrack, so he's also kind of listening to the night backing music for Lau's room.
Hmm, okay. Oh, um, oh yeah, you're listening to the music of Lao's place, which is to say, it is mostly it's similar to like a natural soundtrack, if that makes sense. It's less instruments and more natural sounds. Like
Yeah.
even though there is an tap running, you can hear water flowing. Even though there aren't any windows open, you can hear wind rushing. Well, not rushing, but like gently blowing through trees. Like it's very sort of like peaceful and quiet and naturey.
Mhm.
Um, and you can also hear like the sounds of animals in the undergrowth, snuffling about and like snapping some twigs and like, just kind of rooting around. And you tend to, with the 17 in your perception, you do notice that there seems to be the sound of like birds cooing above you.
Mhm.
Um, and snapping of twigs and more cawing, and more 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 corvid noises and then some pigeon noises maybe.
Mhm.
And then more snapping. Um, and eventually, um, yeah, um, the you do also hear like Lao's theme, as it were, which
Mm.
is just a bass heartbeat kind of thump 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 thump, uh, regular drum kind of deal.
Mhm.
That is starting to push through quite heavily on the soundtrack, and it sounds a little quick.
Uh-huh. I think Chiff will he'll listen to this for a little while. Just sort of trying to figure out whether or not he's awake enough. Like he's awake, and then it's like, is that have I fallen into REM sleep? And then he'll push his eyes open and just give them a bit of a rub, and just sort of sit up a little bit and just look around to try and figure out whether or not he's actually hearing what it sounds like.
Um, hmm. So if you're not paying attention to the soundtrack anymore, the heartbeat fades away, and so does the sound of the wind and water flowing. But the bird noises stay, and so does the sounds of something in the undergrowth. Um, like the sounds of animals rummaging around and snapping twigs and like snuffling things.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think he is definitely going to start looking around the room and try and find Lau in the dark. They're going, okay, just making sure I've got eyes on you, and what the hell is going on here?
Uh, well, it's dark. There is probably a bit of moonlight, but it's like a slightly cloudy sort of like it's like a slightly cloudy sort of night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So, Blau's got a dresser on his right, and then he's got a bedside table. There's the double doors, the double bay doors that open onto the balcony straight opposite you. Um, and there is the the snapping noises
Mm-hmm.
and the bird noises coming from right next to you, and the nest is shaking a little.
He is going to investigate that further.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, hmm. Yeah, no, if you look to beside you, you can just about make out Lau's outline. You can see that it's unsettled, but you can't see in what way. Um, and again, you can hear the sound of birds and uh this weird snapping noise.
Um, let me see. Do 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 do. That's fire based, so you can't do that. Doodly 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 doo. Nope. 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 One day I will get this man dancing lights. But I don't have dancing lights. Okay. I think he'll just sort of pull himself up and he'll reach over and just like put a hand on Lau's shoulder and see whether or not he feels like that kind of wibbly distressed.
Um, hmm. Let me roll some things. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Um, so let me just check. Sorry, give me a second. I have to check some things now that I've rolled that.
Alright.
Um, so the first thing, yeah, Chifley reaches out and touches Lau. First thing he is going to notice is that his outline is rapidly changing beneath him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, kind of like it's pressing against different points of his hand, like rapidly. But also kind of like it's undulating, kind of like a high frequency radio wave. It's very like up down up down up down up down. If that makes
Ooh.
sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Huh.
Um, you also hear uh, how do I describe this? You hear little chirping noises and like strangled screeches.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, Chif's
Yeah.
heard Lau make assorted bird noises before. That's not that out of the ordinary, but these don't sound like normal bird noises. These are bird noises of distress.
Sad little man is he? I mean, yeah, yeah.
I think he's going to, now that he's ascertained this, he's just going to give Lau a little bit of a shake, just a little nudge, nudge, kind of see if he'll wake up.
Hmm. Okay, okay. You nudge him,
Uh huh.
and his his whole outline just kind of does a wide berth around your hand on like the second attempt to nudge him. And he bodily kind of turns away from you and curls up, and you hear the snapping noises increase in frequency.
He's gonna. I think he's gonna call out then. Wow. Wake up. And you know what he's going to do? He is going to actually use his chiromancy cantrip. And he's just going to make the air really, like, deliberately for a change, make the temperature colder in the room to sort of, I don't know, make it so that he's no longer as comfortable in sleep and therefore will wake up, is the theory.
Okay, well, good news. You have made the room colder. The bad news is it doesn't seem to have done anything. Lau's now just shaking more, as well as the high frequency radio wave outline. He is also shivering and huffing himself
wake up.
further into a ball.
He's going to try and reach down and give him another shake of the shoulder.
Ah, here we go. Cool. Okay. Hey, what's Chifley's DC?
As in, like, his armor class?
Yeah.
12.
Oh, fun. Cool. Let's do this. Cool.
Tell me you hit him. Oh, good.
Oh no. Good word for it. So give me a second. I'm trying to figure something out. Give me a second.
Yeah, right. Take your time.
Where are we at? Oh, yay! I can do it. Okay, cool. I can do this. Excellent. As you touch now again, you hear the snapping frequency increase even further. And perhaps you feel like slightly too roughly. Maybe you're not entirely certain what it is, but you lean over him, and you see his eye snap open just about, and his pupil is tiny, like a tiny shivering little pinprick. Like his whole usually it's just like his outline that shakes. His eye is usually pretty steady, but his whole eye and his pupil, everything is shaking.
Oh, dear.
And as you touch him, you feel something that's not his hand grab you. And let me just see. Okay. I'm not gonna roll 6 of these. I'm just gonna do this.
Oh my god.
Oh. Chifley got very fucking lucky.
Oh.
Very fucking lucky.
Oh my.
As something latches onto him, and you feel bad. You feel very fucking bad. You feel pain. Your legs really fucking hurt. And
Oh no.
yeah.
That's more than half his health in one go. What was that?
Oh, that was inflict wounds at the highest level. Now can cast it.
Oh, shitballs. Clerics, everybody.
Yay! By the way, this is 27 necrotic damage you're taking.
Oh, yeah. I think probably in the wake of that, there is gonna be some sort of kind of noise, and Chif falls backwards, and then there's a thud. Because, ow! Jesus H. Christ! Oh.
Yeah.
My goodness, he rolled low. Lowish.
Yeah, that. Yeah, you Yeah, you're very fucking lucky, obviously. You're
Just
still conscious.
feel fucking one shot him.
Now wakes up the next day, Chifley's just fucking face down on the floor.
Just dead.
How the fuck? I literally just stopped it. What the fuck?
Oh, dear, oh
Oh,
dear.
yeah.
Alright. Well, is Lab awake now, or?
Mm, wanna, what do you want to roll for that? Do you want to check? I mean, he's not moved since that thing grasped you. Uh,
Hmm. Hmm. Yep. I think I will do another Persepi.
uh I will say that the point of pain is mostly in your leg, and there is like one specific area, like around your calf, that really fucking hurts.
Alright. I'm gonna make him limp for a while.
18
That's an 18.
18 perception.
Yeah.
Um, well, with an 18, firstly, if you're inspecting now, you can see that his outline is still shaking. He is still shaking. His pupil is still shaking. Um, you're not entirely sure if he's conscious, considering his eye is not focusing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his pupil is moving rapidly around, you know, the rapidly around the circumference of his eye. Um, it's not focusing on you at all.
Yep.
Um, he he is also still making loud. Actually, he's not making like small noises anymore. He is like roaring very loudly. Um, now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also with an 18, you can see what what is what grabs you,
Mm-hmm.
and a, a bit of loud outlines from around his waist seems to have fallen away. It's still attached to him, but it's no longer attached to where it goes underneath the blankets. Um, and instead of being like wiggly high frequency lines, they are very, very sharp and they look kind of like teeth. And they have sunk themselves into your thigh, and there is bits of black dust on your thigh too. That has not let go.
Ah. Interesting. Huh. Right. I have a question. Are there overhead lights in Lau's apartment, or is it all just window lights usually?
No, that's a good question. I think he would have some. He might have some standing light, probably like a few. He would have a few. He probably has a bedside lamp,
Yep.
but you would have to reach over him to reach it. So I imagine Chifley is laying closest to the door,
Uh-huh.
whereas Lau is next to the bedside table.
Okay. Do you have the means to do anything useful there, sir? I'm
Oh,
unprepared.
with an 18, I can give you a little something.
Oh yeah? I love little somethings.
Uh, yes, not yesterday. Um, Earlier that day, Lau pulled something out of his armor space to help him along for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He has not put that away. That is still next to him
Uh-huh.
in bed.
Uh-huh. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Here is what we're gonna do. I don't have any means to interact with the environment without touching it, unfortunately. Tell it something. Brain. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll our hammer space. We're gonna get a 4. He's gonna get out his wand, and he's gonna twirl it in his fingers and make it into a staff. First thing he's going to do is he's going to see whether or not he has the dex to turn on the lamp with his staff. So I'm going to roll a sleight of hand.
On that one. On that one.
That is a 17! Very nice.
Nice.
So he's trying to turn the light on.
Yeah, no, I mean, the switch is pretty easy to access. Yeah, Lau likes to keep it low enough to the floor that you can just kind of reach over, and press it if you need to, when he reads in bed. So yeah, no, you can turn the switch on.
Alright, he's going to turn the light on to see if that does anything.
Well, you can see better now.
Uh-huh.
You can see how badly Lau's doing. Yeah, no, his outline is whack. His whole upper body is still shaking. And hey, you know how I said it was his waist that had grabbed you?
Yeah.
I was fibbing.
Oh.
It's not his waist.
Oh.
It's his empty arm. The empty end of his arm have grabbed you.
Fair enough. Alrighty. So, like, it's the ragged ends stabbed into his calf muscles. Yes. Lovely.
Yes.
And they're still also, stabbed in, or they left behind?
They're still in there. Like, the empty, like, the two points where a hand should be, where it just falls off, they are now shaped, like, jaggedly. That, they're sunk into your calf. And you can see with Lau, like, you don't really get to see, like, any of Lau's bottom half at all. And you still can't.
Mm-hmm.
He's usually, like, wrapped up like a goddamn burrito. He's not so tightly wrapped up now, and you can see the lower half of his body underneath the blankets seems to be flailing about wildly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So sorry, just so I'm just picturing this in my brain. The two jaggedy ends where Lau used to have a hand but now doesn't. So is it like his arm is reached out to grab into Chif's leg, or the outline has stretched to do a stab?
His out. That's a good question. It's a very good question. I think he's reached out, but there's no exaggerated line stretching. Lau has reached out with his empty arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think. Oh, Chif.
What's he gonna do?
He is.
Boy, what are you gonna do?
He has too little sleep and too much damage in his leg. God, that was more than half of his health in one go to his leg. I don't think his leg is actually going to work for a hot minute. Cool. Great, Chif. Well done. So, okay, but at the moment, Lau is freaking out. The last time he touched Lau, Lau stabbed him. Okay. We have to wake Lau up. Making him cold didn't help. Okay. How about we start with that theoretically that will stop Lau from doing Chifley in. Alright. Let's get Lau to do a whiz save.
Oh. I'm going to do this at disadvantage.
That makes sense.
Considering.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god. I say this, I get a nat 20. Jeez, Lau, fuck sake. Okay, so let me just double check and make sure I'm not being a silly goober, because I know that your whiz save is pretty fucking high. Yep, that is 13 plus 7 at the lowest.
Damn it. Alright. Well, hold person didn't work. Dang it. Okay.
I mean, I can try roll again, because I feel like getting a nat 20 during nightmare mode is a bit shit.
Sure, why not? Just disregard that one.
Away. That's 13.
Fantastic! That will do it. That'll be low enough.
Yay.
Alright, so Chip has cast Hold Person, so he's holding Lau still.
Cool.
He's now paralyzed.
Okay. Oh boy. Great. For Hold Person, are you still able to talk during this?
No,
Or
you're
make
paralyzed.
noise?
Nah,
Oh.
completely paralyzed.
Okay. Oh boy. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
His whole body has frozen.
then what he's going to do
Mm-hmm.
is he is going... Actually, do you have the less high-level version of that spell, my guy?
I would like to note that even though you have cast Hold Person, the blankets haven't stopped moving.
Okay. Let me just roll Chifley a whiz save. Okay, so he's cast this. The blankets are still doing that. Chip's just looking at... What the... Not important, not important, not important, not important. Lau needs to wake up.
It's fine. It's fine. It's so fine.
Chifley would beg to differ, but anyway. Okay, now, Lau cannot move, and now Chif is going to try and wake Lau up by casting Sending, because he doesn't have message. So he's got Sending, so he's going to use Sending to beam his voice directly into Lau's brain. Lau, you need to wake up. You're having a nightmare. Please don't stab me again.
Hey, does Sending let you send something back?
It does.
Oh. Oh. Give me a second. I'm just gonna type something out. Give me a moment.
Well, actually, I've always done it as you do, just like with message, but it doesn't actually say that in the text here. But just for the sake of the argument, let's say that he can. Oh wait, no, and can answer in a like manner immediately. There you go. You can. Don't mind me.
Nice.
I can read.
Cool. Give me a moment. I'm typing something.
No, you're fine.
Because you do get something in response. A sec.
I have to manage my spell slots. This is ridiculous. Okay.
That's what happens when you have nightmares. It's a mini round.
Okay, that's a 3rd level spell, and Hold Person is a 2nd level spell. Cool.
You hear this come back to you. Like, you hear. Yeah, no, you would hear this come back to you. You wouldn't hear that. Okay. You hear this come back to you, and I've just not DM'd it. I've put it in spoilers there. Um, and you hear Lau. At least you think it's Lau, but he sounds not quite like himself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is what you hear.
Oh, okay. Oh, boy.
Me punching you, punching you, punching you.
Alright. I think Chifley is going to... He's still got his staff. He is going to give Lau a good couple of... Not firm prods, but good prods with the end of the staff. Lau will whinge about being stabbed like he did the last time. But yeah, some good solid prods, probably in the shoulder of his good arm, I guess. And then he's just like, all right, I'm gonna trust you on this, and he's gonna drop concentration on hold person. So he's given Lau some prods while he can't immediately go for Chif's throat, and then let go and let him move.
Okay, hey Wrist, do you want to know what I fucking rolled?
Oh dear.
I rolled this, and then I rolled this.
Fuck.
Um, man, I'm gonna do. Sorry, this is Lau has a nightmare and then proceeds to destroy Chifley. Well, the good news is that you have plenty of time to move out of the way as you said whole person's been released, right?
Yeah, he let him go.
You have plenty of time to move out of the way as you hear like almost like a cross between like a sob and a screech. And you hear something snap again. Not from the blankets, but you see Lau's head come towards you and you see his beak open and just take a snap at you. Before he kind of collapses the bottom of the nest again. However, he is his pupil does seem to be shrinking and growing a bit more now.
Alright. I'm gonna roll it inside.
Instead of yeah.
That's shit, Chif. You're tired. That's fine. That's a 13.
13. So he, with an insight, you can tell that he's scared and he's shaken and he's anxious and that's definitely a nightmare he just fucking had. And he you think he was a bit catatonic when he woke up. It's like when you wake up and you don't think you're awake. As it were. And with the prodding and everything you have been doing, he seems to slowly be coming out of it. Don't think prodding him is gonna do anything more than what it's done.
Chif was trying to avoid the startle him awake strategy. Given that he's already having a I am scared nightmare. Okay. This is Chif's last idea, and frankly it's mine as well. So Chif is physically unable to raise his voice. So he's going to go with thaumaturgy to make himself louder.
Oh, clever boy.
So it's just a cantrip, so that's fine. Up to 3 times as loud as normal. So instead of Chif going, Lau, you're okay, then it's more like, if I'm right up against my mic like this, Wow, you're alright.
I'm very sorry, but all I can imagine is love is blind. You're wanted at desk till number 62, please. You're being summoned by the intercom now. And it's a separate nightmare of Laos. Let's leave that alone.
Oh, dear, oh
But
dear.
yeah, that's probably gonna fucking do it. I'll admit. Um, he's still shaking. And he's breathing very heavily, but he's no longer making the squeaking, squawking noises.
Mm-hmm.
The snapping sounds from beneath his blanket are receding in speed, although they are still happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and his pupil is no longer a tiny little prick, and it's slowly he's blinking now. He's blinking and he is looking around. Um, and he looks up at you.
Mm-hmm.
What, what, what's and he drags a hand down his face.
Hi. You
Um,
okay?
um, he's not looking at Chifley. Um,
That's fine.
is is he gonna is he gonna fucking try this? He is. He's a stupid idiot, and he's gonna try this.
Uh-huh.
No, fuck you, and you're 16. That's better. A nat one. Uh, he he waves his hand on his face away at Chifley. Uh, I'm fine, Chifley. Fine. It's right. I apologize if I disturbed you. We go back to sleep if you need. I'm fine.
I'm not particularly convinced.
Well, I don't need to convince you. I am fine.
Where your line art is stabbed into my leg might count against that statement.
Lao Bling. Um, his outline is no longer the high frequency wave, and it's more like a wibble. Like
Mm-hmm.
like a pebble dropped in a pond, sort of
Yeah.
disturbed.
Yeah.
He follows his arm. He looks at his shoulder, follows it down to his arm, down to Chippy's calf, and then uh he makes a bad little noise, and the key, quote unquote, unlatch from your calf and pull away, and all you can hear is and with his other hand, he's going to reach underneath his blanket. Um, where are you? Where's your D10? Actually, no, he's not going to reach into his blanket. He's going to fucking reach into his bedside drawer. Like, you're going to hear a drawer slam open, and he's not going to look. He's just going to rummage in there, and he's like, oh, fuck, how deep is it? Fucking, are you all right? You're not. Do you feel any how bad do you And he's just fumbling in the drawer until he pulls out a layer of gauze and bandages, and rather sloppily starts to try and patch up his face.
Chip's just gonna shake his head and smile a little bit. Oh no, it hurts quite a lot. I didn't know you could do that.
Mm, mm, mm. Uh, like, distressed grunting noises. Um, and you definitely hear him swearing a lot more and then speaking a language you don't know. Because he's got one hand at the minute, and his other hand can't really be used to help with the bandages. They're not really super tight. Um, he's getting frustrated,
Uh-huh.
clearly.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Lau. Lau. Stop. Stop.
I that that I he kind of leans plump against the bedside table, his eyes go half lidded. I did that, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah, you did. I was trying to wake you when you reacted.
Mm, yes, I guess I would have. Something I didn't think I'd ever have to discuss with being sleeping etiquette with someone. Um, right. He staring blankly at the bandages on the floor. I'm, I'm sorry, Chifley. I'm
I think Chif is going to just smile, and then he's just going to push himself up so that he can slide into the nest next to Lau, and just give Lau a little bit of a nudge with his elbow. I forgive you.
well. I, that's very nice of you, Chifley. But it shouldn't have happened in the first place. I'm gonna roll something because Lau's gonna reach out. He's gonna reach out with his stump arm, and then he's gonna stop, and then he's gonna use his actual hand and like very gently hover it over Chifley's calf. He's not touching Chifley.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's just hovering it there. Um, and Chifley gets 30 HP back.
30, 3-0.
As yes. 30. And the black
Oh, cool.
dust that was surrounding the wound and the lines that were starting to crawl up Chifley's leg recede and pulls it out, and the wound healed over. No
Alright.
scab, no nothing. It's all gone.
I think I'm going to have Chif have phantom pains for the next 24 hours because that was a hell of a lot of damage all at once.
Yeah. Squishy feel for it.
Yeah. But I think Chif will sort of he'll rotate his foot a little bit to sort of stretch the muscle a little bit and maybe wince a tad. Thank you.
Don't thank me for fixing a problem I caused. And don't put stress on that for the next few days. I may have magical healing is all well and good, but I just can't always trust that it's going to do what it needs to do.
That's fine. I think I can manage that.
Now nods, pulls himself up, and he starts looking around the nest and then pulling things from it. And you hear the sound like twigs and sticks and things being dislodged. And I'm sorry for disturbing you. Obviously you can stay in here for the night. I just need to get a few things to set up. And he's reaching for the staff by his side. Um, and he looks like he's going to try and get up.
Chif is going to reach up and grab Lau's good arm right at the wrist and just put his hand on it and just hold on to it.
His whole lineup kind of shivers upwards, um, and it shivers out to the tips of his curls as he looks down, or looks over, I should say. Chifley, I understand that you're a very kind man with a forgiving nature, but I don't think this was a good idea.
If I hadn't tried to wake you, it wouldn't have happened. And I only tried to wake you because you were having a nightmare, Lau.
Yes. Well, I appreciate what you were trying to do, but it's not safe. He glances at his calf.
Give me 1 second, I have an intruder.
Oh, have you got a poppy? I wonder if this is a poppy or an oat. While Swiss is gone, I am going to talk great about her and how very cool she is. And you should all be praising her for the
Right.
um, amazing title card she's been drawing. Hello, hi.
Oh dear. I have an oat.
You're right.
Yeah, Oat does not want to go to
Hi,
bed, and she just came in here going, "Mummy, mummy, mummy," and now she's been carried out of the room going, "Mummy, mummy, mummy." It's like, nah.
Oh,
The
do you
daddy
want
put
to
down
attend to
today?
the child?
No, Dad's got her.
Okay. Okay.
She needs
One.
to be a big girl.
She's growing.
Now, chain of thought. What did Chif just said? Yeah, Chif has just said that Lau was having a nightmare, and then I stopped being able to pay attention because I had a child.
Is fair. And Lau said that he appreciates that, but it's not safe. And Lau looked at Chifley's.
I don't want you to go.
I Chifley, I don't think that us staying here, this isn't a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. I don't think
Even
that you
after
should be alone. Yes, even after that.
Chifley, I've been dealing with pain alone for quite a few years now. It's fine. I can handle myself. I'm not worried about me at the minute. I'm worried more about you.
Well, I'm more worried about you than I'm worried about me. So,
It's very nice of you.
why is it nice when I do it, but not when you do it?
Because I'm not a very nice person, Chifley. I thought we had all established this by now.
I continue to disagree.
Yes, well, I suppose you're going to have to continue to operate under handwave. I don't. I'm going to have to continue to be wrong then. You and everybody else.
Why are you so adamant that you're not a nice person? Why won't you
Because
believe us when we tell you this?
I things. I mean, I know myself very well, Chifley. I know what people would deem a good person and a bad person and a nice person and a kind person, and I'm not those things. I'm sure on most days, a lot of people would agree that I'm not those things.
But if that was true, you wouldn't have me sitting here saying that you are.
I think Lau loosens his grip on his staff and just sort of leans back against the side of the nest. The thing is, Chifley, there are people in this world that will think the worst of you no matter what you do, no matter who you are, where you come from. And then there are people that will think the best of people, no matter who they are, where they've come from, all the things they've done. And unfortunately, on that little scale, you tend to lean towards the latter part, which is not always a failing, but in this case is not. I don't know. I don't know.
That doesn't mean you should think the worst of yourself. Don't be the former.
Mm, I don't think the worst of myself. There are many, many people that have claimed that dot. Um, and it's almost as if I know, it's almost as if I think I'm the worst thing to ever exist. There are worse people that exist than me, like people that don't tip their waiters. They're pricks. And people that come in 5 minutes before the shop's closing and spend 30 minutes browsing and not even fucking buying anything. They're pricks. But I am also not a very nice person. I know who I am, and I know that I wouldn't call myself a good person.
You're nice to me. You're good to me.
Yes, well, I, well, I mean, I,
I think Chif will lean over and just sort of kiss Lau's cheek while he's trying to make words.
um, you lean over and try to do that. Love flinches away.
Oh.
Sorry, I don't. Hmm. Is Jeffrey still holding on to him?
It's like he could pull his hand out of Chif's grip if he wanted to.
Yeah. You're gonna feel his line art start to wriggle a bit more under your hand before he pulls it away.
Mm-hmm.
Not roughly, but just like gently slides it away. Um, I and he starts to fiddle with the blankets. I'm, I don't think I don't I appreciate you trying to comfort me after that, but I don't know if um that is a good idea.
Maybe not. But you can't just pretend it didn't happen.
Hmm.
You want to talk about it?
Hmm. I'm not really sure what there is to talk about. Just remembering things.
Were they a friend of yours?
Hmm? He looks confused.
Neve.
Oh, you want to roll an insight?
Mm-hmm. Sure do. Dirty 20! Hello!
That's what we like to fucking see. Um, you say leave, and his whole everything freezes. Like Lau's a housing coon. He completely fucking stops.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he looks stricken. Like oh man, yeah, no, his line art smutters, and he looks stricken and slowly turns his head back towards you. Where'd you? Did I? How do you know? How do you know that name?
You said it in your sleep.
It, oh, fucking course I did. And he buries his head in his hand. Um, and you just see his shoulders shake. Yes. Oh, I haven't heard that name in a very long time.
Who were they?
Well, that would depend on who you'd ask. Since you're asking me, um, a very old friend.
From your... The real kind place where you grew up. What do you call it? Clan? Is that the right word?
Mm, the place itself is called Charlton, but yes, he was it's a whole thing. Um, easiest to say that she was there and then she wasn't.
Hmm. And that's all there is to it.
Oh no, there's more, but that's well, I think that's a little bit. That's a little. I think we've had enough unpleasantness for tonight.
You had to help me through all of mine. It's the least I can do to help you through yours.
You already have woken me up. I'm not. The nightmare's over. Its nightmare is over. You've already helped me, Chifley.
But you're still upset.
Of course I am. Fucking nightmare, Chifley. They're designed to unsettle you, to bring your brain back to alertness and make you hypervigilant and arouse you and make you. They're designed to make you aware that you're not safe. So yes, I am still feeling a bit off, but it's fine, and I'm fine.
reacted. And how hard it was to wake you. I don't think you are. And you don't have to just sit there and deal with it. And he does air quotes. With mine, I know why I had mine. It wasn't unprompted. But I can't see the reason behind yours.
I will admit that this particular nightly influence hasn't graced me for a very long time. Well, I say, yeah, quite a while. But I don't. I've been handling them for a very, very, very long time, Chifley. And whilst I appreciate your concern and your help, like you said, you've already got your own shit to deal with. I'm not going to add mine onto it.
Do you want to roll an insight on Chifley?
Mm-hmm. Well done, baby girl. Well done, baby girl. That's a 24.
Excellent. All right. So the first and foremost thing that Lau is going to get from taking a good look at Chifley's expression is stubborn. Stubborn is happening here. But it's confusion, it's concern. Excuse me. And every time that Lau has said, he said it a few times, says, I'm used to dealing with this. That's fine. Chif's just like, yeah, I do have my own shit. But I don't want you to have to deal with yours by yourself. Not anymore. You don't have to.
Lau's outline quivers between spiked tips and smeared edges. It's sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to think about how Lau is going to approach this. There are two very different pathways this could go. Actually, three different pathways. Now I think about it. I, I, Chifley, I'm not. Chifley, I know that you're you're the sort of man that when you see someone you care about in distress of some sort, you want to help, you want to fix it. I understand that about you, but this is not something you can help or fix. It's, with you, it's a little. I know you still have them, and even after I take the fucking thing off of you, you probably will still have them for a little while, but this is not something that. This is not a pain that can be eased just by talking about it. It's not going to go away. It's I know you want to help, but talking about it's not going to help, literally.
Have you tried? What if it does? How long
I
ago?
tried. Ah, fucking God, I don't fucking know. A while ago, but it was a while ago. It wasn't exactly go fantastically.
You gave me a hard time over the mark on my back. And ignoring it, this more air quotes, for 10 years. And I've deliberately not pried. If you wanted me to know about what you've endured, then you'd tell me, but I'm getting to the point now where I'm gonna start giving you a hard time for ignoring your problem too. It's no different to mine.
Oh, Chifley, that's very fucking naive of you, Chifley.
Then illuminate the situation now. I can only
Okay,
react to what I know.
okay, Chifley. I will shed a little bit of light on the situation. And Lau sits up and he presses his weight on the blankets on his lap, which are still cracking, by the way. This has not stopped. This has been a constant. It's no longer as fast as when he was having a nightmare, but the cracking is noticeable now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he leans his staff over the top and raises his arms on it, and he hunches over and he looks up at Chifley with a glare. Oh, let's get into it then. We've both suffered something from our childhoods. Yes, something has been done to us when we were children. We both suffered for it. You, you, both of our bodies have been marked by it. The difference here, Chifley, difference here, and he jabs a finger in Chifley's chest. The difference is that something could be done about yours, right? That same despicable, ugly, disgusting thing that they whoever put on you, that can be removed. I will make sure that it is removed. I promised you it would be, and so I fucking will. It's and he gestures at actually he slams his arms on the staff on his lap, which rattles and you hear more snapping. This is not something you can fix with words and listening. This is not something you can do anything about. This is forever. What's on your back is not forever, Chifley. I will not let it be forever. But this is me now. This is a part of me. It will always be a part. I'm sure this time in your life will always be a part of you, but you will be able to move on from it. You can't move on from this.
Chifley is frowning. And I'm going to give you this because you have that really high insight roll from before. Chifley's frowning, and it's not a, oh no, it's worse than I thought kind of frown. It's a, huh, that doesn't line up kind of frown.
Huh? Hmm. What? What? What's that look? Chifley, what the fuck is that look for? Did I say something that doesn't quite seem right to you? You want fucking proof?
You say it's part of you.
Yes, and
When I was trying to wake you up, I cast a spell to try and prevent you from hurting me further.
Sounds reasonable.
And it didn't affect that.
Well, there are a few reasons for that, potentially, considering, but that doesn't make it any less a part of me.
It might be a part of how you interact with the world, or a part of the way that you behave, or something else. But hold person is supposed to do you, your body, and you stilled all the way up until here. And he holds his hand to the point at which Lau's body stopped being under hold person. Hold person didn't stop this from moving at all. You were frozen. This was not.
So, that doesn't mean that it's not part of me, truthfully. That's maybe your magic just wasn't. I'm not saying you're weak, but maybe your magic just couldn't come that.
Gosh. Chif? No.
I'm looking at the boy. What's he doing? What's he thinking?
Oh,
What are you
no.
thinking, baby?
No, Chifley. No, Chifley. I'm going to roll you a whiz save.
Please.
Thank you.
Please tell me what he would have done.
I'm going to put this again with that high 24 on the inside. Chif's like, well, we could try it again. He hasn't said it, but you can sort of see that thought process in his head, and he's not going to because that was a dirty 20 on his whiz save. But he's like, no, we could give it another try.
I don't know person you again.
Huh?
Between rows.
Huh?
I could hold person you. A whole person between rows. Like, what's a whole person between rows? It's so cool.
He's not doing it, but the thought occurred to him.
The clear thinking about it face crossed over. Oh, shivers. You really allow. You can't actually want to. If the same thing's going to happen, seriously.
And I also don't want to do that to you without good reason. I'm not going to, unless you want to.
I don't mind if you do. I'm just gonna write off your passive insight. He's fucking lying. He does mind. He does not want to be your person at all.
Yeah, that's fair. That's completely fair. I think he's just going to draw in a really big deep breath and then sigh. I don't know what happened to you. And if you don't want to tell me, I'm not gonna make you. I just don't want to see you suffer alone. That's all.
Chifley, Chifley telling you isn't going to help anything. It's not going to help me. It's not going to help you. You'll just have knowledge of something that you know hurts me and can't fix. And I don't. Knowing that there is something wrong with someone you care about and you can't help them is a different kind of hurt. Chifley,
But knowing there is something wrong with someone I care about and not knowing what it is means that I can't provide any comfort or support. I may not be able to fix it, but I could still support you in the way that helps. And
Lau's line up. Sorry.
No, go.
To say Lau's line art has softened around the edges. It's still smudgy, but it's now looking a bit fluffier than it was. Chifley, you don't have to know all the nitty gritty details. Help you. You help just by being here. You help by being yourself, by wanting to help, by dealing with me being myself. You help. Don't think because you can't. Don't think because you can't fix it doesn't mean you don't help you deal with it.
What if you were wrong? What if... You're already well aware. I've never entertained the idea that maybe this mark on my back would be removable after we tried. But then you come along. And you're going to be stubborn about it, and if anyone can do it, it'll probably be you. Maybe I can't fix it, but I certainly can if I don't know what happened. It's the mark on my back. It isn't just pain. And he kind of gives a bit of a, I don't have any better way to say this kind of shrug. I'm disabled because of it.
I'm gonna roll intelligence.
Uh-huh.
Is Lau, are you gonna fucking knock your brain cells together, my son? 14?
That's not bad.
Hmm. Is it, when you say disabled, is that in relation to the where you come from, to your um to the soundtrack?
The soundtrack gave me a crutch to lean on, I guess. When this mark was put on my back. The thing that meant the most to me at the time. My voice. It broke. I was mute. This and he puts his hand to his throat. This is not my voice. It's fake.
Lau's eyes widen, and he sits up. Hey, what do you... Oh, when you say, hey, it's not, obviously it's not what you actually sound like.
He just gives a slow shake of the head. Not even a little bit. This quiet, rough sounding voice is not. I used to sing, Lau. I used to be a singer, and my voice was taken from me. And the magic in my bag, even the soundtrack themselves couldn't undo it. This is as best as they could do for me.
Oh. Chifley, you hear a ripping noise.
Oh no!
If you are to look, you see that Lau has ripped a tear, like a big fucking gash in his blanket, and he is shaking, and his
Oh
outline is tiny.
no! Oh dear!
But even then, as his hand reaches out to you, and as the spikes reach out to you and reach for your face, they smooth into something just a little softer as they cup your cheek. If you thought are you are going, if you so wish, you are going to sing again. You are going to have your voice. I am going to fucking take that thing off of you, and if soundtrack is willing, I am going to give you what is yours back to you. If you want to sing again, I am going to be sure that you can, one way or another.
Just gonna bring his hand up and put it on Lau's arm. If anyone is stubborn enough to keep that promise, it's going to be you.
Lau's gonna knock their sore heads together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes, well, I don't make promises like this lightly. And, I know that you are also somehow stubborn enough to deal with me being cantankerous and a bit of a prick. So, I'm not, I don't know when I will be, or if I will ever be ready to talk about what happened, but I will be here for you, and I will try and let you be there for me.
That's all I'm asking.
Oh, yes, just about a length of a yard more than I can give, but I suppose I'll stretch myself out just a little bit. What's this one?
Chip's gonna bring his hand up, and I think he's gonna take Lau's remaining hand and thread their fingers together.
He doesn't have a remending hand.
Yeah, just whichever
His
hand
hand.
that he's got. The hand that has a hand on it.
So he has a hand on his face. The other arm is empty.
Yeah, yeah. So he's gonna take Lau's hand off his face so that they can hold
Ah,
hands.
okay. I wasn't sure if you were threading it on his face, so it was like he's cupping Lao's hand onto your cheek, or what was going on. But yes.
Oh, hang on. Let me. Yeah, no, that seems difficult. He'll just sort of slide his hand
Yeah.
under to be able to take
Mm,
Lau's hand.
fair enough. Lao's gonna squeeze Tippy's hand. And I don't know how much this is worth, but for what it is worth, I don't think the soundtrack did a bad job with the voice that they gave you.
Oh no, that's definitely not true. It's awful.
Shut up, don't say that. You're not allowed to talk shit about yourself, that's my job.
No, if you could have
It's,
heard me sing before.
well, did you want to? Hearing you sing is only a matter of time. And patience, and general, how can I put this? Hell raising, that's the term, I think.
That'll be something to behold.
Mm, well, I'm hoping you're going to be there to see it.
Yeah, me too. Can I?
So what?
Oh no, you go.
What was I going to say? Oh, what was he going to say? I forgot. He was just going to be snarky. I don't remember what he was going to say though.
It was a what's starting of the question. It was like, oh, what's
Mm.
kind of thing. That's right. I'll say what Chifley was
Oh
going to say. Oh, you got it? You got it?
no, 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 no! You go, you go, you go.
Okay. Well, he was just going to go, can I ask a question about it? See if you feel comfortable telling me the answer.
I request the right to refuse to answer, but yes,
Oh, of
course you
course.
can.
When it comes to the mark on my back, I know why I hide it, why I keep people away from it. But why do you hide your legs?
Mm. There are a few reasons. Um, one, it's not the first. The first. I wrapped them because it helps. Some of the blankets and the underlayers I use
They've got
helps with the
pain,
pain management.
pain relief enchantments, yeah.
Mm. Wait, no, never mind. I'll ask later. Um, yes, they help manage what's happened. Um, and side effect of that is that, well, and he kind of shrinks back a little bit, like his shoulders hunch up a bit, and his neck disappears. It it's not exactly something pleasant to look at.
Oh, I guess that's fair enough. I mean, great horrible burn into my back isn't particularly nice to look at either. So.
As much as I'd like to say no part of you is ugly, I can't help but agree that that thing is, what's the term? Hideous.
Yeah, that's true. And Chifty sort of opens his mouth like he's going to ask another question, and then he just sort of stops.
No, no, you've got me in a slightly more talkative mood. You might as well ask.
Alright. You're, Hausen, right?
I am.
And he kind of opens his mouth and he's like trying to figure out how to word this. And Lau can see him sort of looking at his legs and then looking at the top half of him and then back at his legs and then was whatever happened to your legs because of you not having any color as well.
I, hmm, I, I don't, I don't know. And he doesn't have eyebrows, but his brows do furrow.
Yeah.
His eyes narrow.
Yeah.
He looks down at the blankets. I, I don't think I don't know. I did look different before, but I, I don't remember if it's due to color.
I mean, you might remember I thought you were UPA when we first met.
Well, that is probably because I was.
Blink, blink. Dot, 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 question mark?
Now blinks. Well, I assume some mannerisms. I have noticed that certain types of coons have certain mannerisms. Like there are differences between how a Frankenale and a Warn will walk, for example, or interact with their environments, and maybe I have some more uh Ian thing. He starts to rub his arm.
It's not usually something that changes, though. What's a good way to describe? When you were human, you remember you couldn't use unseen servant, right?
Yes. Yes, I do remember that, yes.
Hausen is where you got unseen servant from. You can do it innately because you're a Hausen, just like me. I am a Frankenale. I'm not very good at it, but technically speaking, I can speak with animals whenever I want to. It's something that we're designed with. If you are a Hausen, you're a Hausen. If you're a UPAan, you're a UPAan. You might have some design features of both. A number of people at the ECCR who have asked me if I'm from Ghibli is a lot. But I've been to Ghibli all of once. you'll have some mannerisms, some design aspects, which might lean one or the other, but UPAN is two-dimensional. Housing's three-dimensional and very different in style and mannerism. If you were UPAN, you wouldn't just change. Does that make sense?
Lau gives a slow nod. Do you want to roll an insight?
I do want to roll an insight. Come on, Chifley, please. Please, 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 please. Please, please, please. 19.
19. Okay. You can see that this isn't something Lau has ever really thought about. Like, in terms of changing what race you are, what sub-race you are, in terms of design. In fact, he does look quite surprised at the fact that people don't change their sub-race. And he kind of looks at you and says, but they can get design changes, and apparently changing gender is also a lot easier here than it is in Furuma. But you can't change your sub-race. You can't change what type of troop you are.
That's not something I've ever heard of happening. No. I was a Frankenelli before my redesign, and I'm Frankenelli now. None of the parts of my physical form that changed were the parts of me that make me a Frankenelli. Same with Cassie when she had her redesign. She was at her core still her. It's when it comes to redesigns, typically speaking, and I'm not a fully trained archivist. I'm sure in the archives there's probably a edge case or something, but redesigns typically are visual redesigns or conceptual redesigns sometimes. Mine was pretty dramatic, but the way that I'm designed and the way that you're designed and the way that Cassie is designed or Detective Stagehand, I think she's probably a Warren based on how she moves. We could go through redesigns and how our bodies appear can change, but I've never heard of someone who's a UPA and turn into a Hausen or any other combination of that. I've never heard of that kind of a redesign.
So a redesign is mostly an aesthetic thing. Okay.
Largely,
yeah. I cannot fathom I am the only case where someone has changed from, for example, one type of food to another. That seems improbable to me.
Like I said, I'm not a fully trained archivist. I could look. We could look it up.
No, it's fine. We already have enough to deal with. I think dealing with a race change is a different wheelhouse entirely. Help that. I would like to come back to it at some point. It sounds very interesting, but not at the moment.
That's fair enough.
That's also explain why I kept running into things. Oh, I say running. I kept slamming into things. I was getting, well, more mobile.
You had problems with spatial awareness.
But yes, of course I did. As a UPAN, I believe we call them the thin and flat ones, as it were. It was a lot easier to get between people, slide through, just sort of go and do as you please, that sort of thing. My mother always said that that was good for thieving, but the house and this gestures, I I'm heavier. I, it took a lot more effort to move. I I wasn't as light as I was before. I had more. I wouldn't say I had more substance, but it felt like there was more of me than there was before. And maybe that's just because I was young and I was getting used to it all, but it felt very, very different. And I think having an adjustment period would be understandable. Um,
Yeah. Huh. I wonder if they were related. I imagine
what's related?
Well, I imagine that the going into needing a wheelchair would require an adjustment period regardless.
Yes, there was there was always going to be an adjustment period for after.
Oh dear. I just remembered something Missy put in one of her letters.
Um,
She asked if you had a second wheelchair.
um, what? Why would she? I. Why would she want to know if I had a second one?
You know, from the context of the rest of the letter, I think she will want to race you in it.
It's a very strangled. That is an interesting prospect. Um, Unfortunately, the only other sort of mobility aid, apart from, well, um, oh God, hang on. Yes, he is. Oh my fucking God, now. Um, he was like, well, apart from old Dicky here, and he just pats the staff on his lap. Now Kristen's Dicky. Um, apart from Dicky and my other chair, there's only the indoor. Well, you know, they probably gestures out the hall, and we cross over to where his indoor chair is.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
Yeah. I told her that you're
And
taller than her, so she wouldn't be able to use it the way that you do anyway. Plus, I've seen how
well,
fast you can go, so.
yeah, but in this brutal competition, if that were to happen, which is probably not going to happen because unless she gets one from somewhere else, but I'm not sure if she'll get one. Hopefully, she doesn't use it from someone that actually needs to use it. you might have to talk to her if she does. And anyhow, in the spirit of competition, even if she wanted to, I would I probably wouldn't go quite as fast without, well, the the additions I made.
Well, I suppose it's a moot point. Unless she manages to find a second wheelchair from somewhere, so.
Oh, don't say that. You know she will.
Yeah, she.
Especially if she's friends with, well, um, especially if she's friends with who she's friends with. I'm sure they'll wrangle something from somewhere or build their own.
There's just this pause from Chifley, and then he just puts a hand on his face. Oh, God. Yeah, Mad Lad probably could build one. Oh, dear. Well, I guess we'll deal with that when we need to.
No, Chifley, I hate to say this, but there's not going to be much of a we. This is very much a you. It's very much going to be you. I probably, I will cheer you on from the sidelines, but going to, um, I'm not going to, um, kind of stops, and I would rather, get too close.
Chip's just sort of looking at Lau, not in a really kind of way, but in a just a kind of, it's not an understanding because he distinctly doesn't understand, but he's like, yeah, okay, kind of expression. Well, we'll just have to see what happens. And hope that she doesn't run me over.
Don't worry, if she tries, I'll sweep you off your feet and you'll be out of your way. Perfectly fine.
Wouldn't be the first time, would it?
Have I, now pauses and his eyes squint, have I ever actually, and he puts his hand on his beak/chin and strokes his chin. Have I ever actually knocked you over with my wheelchair before?
Just frowning as he thinks. Not that comes to mind. No. But you have had me in your lap a few times.
I'm not sure that counts as knocking you over.
Sweeping me off my feet, though.
Yes, but that's not knocking you over. It's sweeping. You know, I didn't mean it like that. You know, I didn't.
He's grinning.
Now coats him. It's sticky.
I need to get you a better walking stick than that.
Now yanks it away. You will do no such thing. Sticky's a perfectly acceptable, admirable, wonderful walking companion, and you will do absolutely nothing to remove them from me.
No. I don't think I could do that. I can find you something better, though. Something that doesn't feel like sponge.
No, I like the sponge. It's comforting. Good for squeezing. You know it's good for squeezing. It helped you yesterday. I can't believe you would say such awful things about Sticky after they helped you in your time of need.
It's a shame I didn't break it.
Now looks incredibly offended. Okay, right. Fine. Okay. You know earlier when I was going to leave because I didn't want to hurt you, I'm going to do it again, but it's for a completely different fucking reason. And he's gonna he just stands up
You
and leave.
promised me something nice if I were to break it.
I he stops. I, I don't I don't recall that actually. No, I don't think I would ever say something so mean and awful about Sticky. Why would I ever let you break Sticky?
I'm sure I don't know.
Hmm. Anyhow, now I'm gonna roll a dex check. Oof.
Is that a
No, it takes.
no in getting up?
Uh, it's more like he moves. He sort of gets up for like a second and then flops back down. The poof. I feel like a couple of feathers and some scrap bits of paper and some twigs go flying. The poof back. Um,
You're tired. I'm tired. Just stay in bed.
I will agree to remain here on a few conditions.
Okay. Like what?
One, well, I don't think it's going to happen again because if it does, fuck my brain. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Um, but if I do end up having a nightmare, do not touch me. Just um, and he stops and winces. Um, well, actually, I don't. Um, you said you can talk to animals, yes?
Yeah.
Um, how good are you at mimicking bird calls?
There's a blink and a pause and jeez. Trying to think the last time I tried to speak to a bird. I mean, I
You're
could
speaking to
try.
one right now.
Apart from you, smart aleck. Um, I I don't know, but I could try. You were making a lot of bird noises before I woke you up.
Hmm. That rather comes with the territory of being this gestures to all of him. So, yes, back to the case in point. If you are able to mimic any sort of bird calls, I think that might help. Um, the only other thing I can think to suggest doing is, and this is where I get to roll something, because been very quiet in this apartment. After you guys have been talking, fuck yeah, let's go. It's been very, very quiet. It's definitely want to roll a perception.
Sure. 15.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sorry, with a 15, you do not have a time to roll a deck save. As with the clattering of wooden feet, um, something very large comes through the doorway and slams over the top of both of you. Neither of you
Please.
take damage because it's very squishy, but oh, the deck save!
Hello, soul.
Um, Soul has wrapped their front kinky legs around Lao, and put their head on Lao's lap, and their butt is in Chifley's face, and they are just hugging, hugging, hugging. Took your time showing up. And that slots back down.
I think Chifley might just sort of give a, a bit of a shove to Sol's backside with his whole -2 strength. It's like, okay.
You, you push that bar and it bangs back into your face. Boing.
Sol, come on. Try a different angle, yeah.
Soul pauses their wriggling and then sort of scooches their bottom half off the nest, keeps their top half on lower, then scooches it around the nest until they are curled up next to Lau. And they reach up with their back legs now, and they just very gently sort of wrap their root around Lau. And he just usually, when I have some sort of that, when something like this happens, gestures between him and Chifley, Soul is usually very good at being alert to it and responding. So if you can't manage to wake me, then just wake the soul, and they will do what they do best.
All right, that sounds fair and reasonable.
Now, I would say that you're more than, I would say, lie down and go to sleep, but well, looks at the nest. There is some space for Chifley. But Lau is currently encased in roots. I don't think I'm going anywhere.
And that's okay. And Chif is going to... He is going to lie down in that space next to Lau.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just going to sort of lean... Like, he's lying on his side so that his back is facing away from Lau. And he just sort of leans in and gives Lau a little bit of a nudge. And a big smile. Thanks.
I blink, 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 blink. I hope that you're thanking me. Um, You're welcome, I suppose.
And he's going to give a little bit of a nod, and then he's going to sort of snuggle in a little bit, and he's going to try and hold Lau's hand. Like, reach through Sol's legs to hold Lau's hand.
Did you roll me a sleight of hand? I just want to see what happens.
Let's find out. That's 14. A 14. That's
okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, you do eventually grab hold of Lau's hand, but you do definitely grab onto, or, well, you don't grab onto anything, but it seems like something hand-shaped that is vaguely root textured grabs onto your hands, and it takes a little extricating to wiggle them out.
Sol, get out of the way.
Don't want to hold hand. Sol, oh, hand for me, for Sol? Yes, please.
Chifley will move his other hand and give Sol's roots a little bit of a pat, pat, pat.
You get pat, pat back. Yeah, Lau is gonna take that hand. He's gonna put it through his face. He's just gonna lie there and hold your hand.
How long does it take them to fall asleep, I guess is the question.
Good question. Roll me a con save with disadvantage.
Oh,
I will say, as
nothing to add to that. Boop. That is a 10.
10. Average. Okay. So, oh my god, yeah, no. That makes sense. Okay. Didn't have to roll again.
Mm-hmm.
Soul has stretched out one of their wings and like lifted it over you in a sort of canopy.
Uh-huh.
Um, and the cage of roots they had Lau in has actually kind of opened up and loosened a bit, so he's less trapped in there, and it's more like a cradle for him now. Um, and Chifley, you get to watch Lau kind of very slowly slump and fall asleep. Um, and you get to watch as Soul like just very gently cards a couple of roots over his curls, and he kind of curls up, um, and makes a couple of small little purring noises. Um, and you probably end up dozing away the faint smell of lavender and uh coziness.
Nah.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah. Now this is the hurt comfort we came here for, fucker.
Yeah. Ha.
So
They're holding hands and they're sleeping in the same bed.
gay. How gay of them.
It's
What are
very
they?
gay. It's very good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh dear. Shall we leave them to their
I love
sleep then,
them.
I guess?
Yeah, I think they need naps.
Yeah, me too.
Nap time. Oh, go bed. Okay, we're gonna stop now because Rich needs to go sleepies.
Oh dear. Well, this has been an absolute delight. I loved that.
It was so good.
Lau is getting Chifley to curse a little bit at a time.
Good, good, good. Take the man, take the man, take the boy, take the boy.
That's a whole one proper curse and one kind of curse he has to his name now.
Now, I am corrupting him. I am teaching the good faith. Yes.
Oh, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for doing this with me, Jude.
Yay. Thank you for agreeing to do a follow-up so that we can actually crack the walnut that is my dipshit of a man.
I think we put a few cracks in there.
Oh yeah, you know things. You know some things now.
Oh. Well, thank you everybody for listening. This has been fun. And we will see you at the next thing. Bye.
Yay.